Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our assembly for this week. So, I'm going to tell you about something I did the other day, and I'm going to see if you can help me with it because I've got a little bit of a puzzle. So something that I need you to help me with, and something that's going to be a little bit of a puzzle for you. So, I'm going to tell you about the run that I went on. So, I went on my run, and I saw a couple of things that made me think of a story. So I'm going to show you those two things that made me think of a story, and I'm going to see if you can use those clues to guess which story it was that I was thinking of. Okay, I'll give you a clue. It's a famous picture book. You've probably heard of it because lots and lots of people have. So the first one was this view. So this is the track that I was running up. So I went up that footpath and I looked at this area here with the woods and I thought that looks a little bit like the setting for a story in the middle of the woods. Now I wonder if you can have a look at the woods and think, what sort of animal might live there? Have a think. So who said you might see foxes? Yeah? Who said you might see badgers in there? Actually, I did just a little bit further down the track, not quite where I was, but a bit further back. I did see a really big hole where a badger would probably have lived. Who said they might see rabbits? So actually, we could go all the way through our school classes, couldn't we? Because we could see butterflies, we might see owls in the trees, we might hear grasshoppers in the undergrowth. But it's not one of those animals that I was thinking of. So let's see if we can see something else that I saw on my run. Here we go. So I also saw this on my run. Okay, so watch the video really carefully. Can you see his tongue sticking out? And snakes use their tongues to smell the air around them. They've got very sensitive buds on their tongues that help them to smell things. And this is a grass snake. And he was in the middle of the track on the White Gateway. And he let me have a good long look at him. And then he went off into the undergrowth. And he hid. And at that point, where he is there, I couldn't see him at all. It was very, very difficult to spot because he was so well camouflaged. So I think he was probably out on the track because whilst you could hear the wind in the background, it was a sunny day and he was probably out on the track warming himself up in the sun. So there you go. Now we've got two clues. So clue number one was the woodland scene. Clue number two was the snake. So can you think of a story set in the woods that has a snake in it? Who guessed the Gruffalo? So, if you guessed the Gruffalo, you were right. Well done. Brilliant. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a picture from a new bit of the Gruffalo that the author Julia Donaldson and the illustrator Axel Scheffler have released to do with being at home while people are poorly with coronavirus and social distancing. So, here is the first one. The Gruffalo stayed in the Gruffalo cave. The Gruffalo's child did her best to behave. Let's have a read of the next one. All right, said the Gruffalo, bursting with laughter. You go ahead, and I'll follow 2 meters after. So the Gruffalo's following the little mouse, but he's staying 2 meters away so that he can stay safe. Now, this is the problem that I've got. So my children, Jessica and Toby, who we talked about in one of the other assemblies that I've done online, they're a little bit older than you guys. Jessica is 16 and Toby is 14. So when they were your age, I read them as bedtime stories. I read them the Gruffalo, and just once or twice we read the Gruffalo's Child, and we also read Room on the Broom. But actually there's lots of other books by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler that we haven't read. So I had a look online and I found some of these pictures that have been rewritten and redone by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler to do with social distancing and staying safe and looking after yourself. But I don't know any of these characters. I don't know any of these stories. So I'm going to give you a job to do, okay? Because I know about the Gruffalo and I know about the witch in Room on the Broom, but I don't know about the rest. So I'd like you to see if you recognise any of those stories because mum or dad or somebody at home has read them to you as bedtime stories, or they might be favourite books of yours, or it might be that one of your teachers has read them to you in school, but I don't know. So I'd like you to see if you can put in the comments down below on this video which of the stories you recognise. See if you can tell me. Okay, so let's have a look, shall we? So we've got the Gruffalo and the mouse. Here's the witch from Room on the Broom. You better be safe, you better be smart, stay on the broom, but stay well apart. And the witch has got an extra big broomstick today, and she's got the cat and she's got all the other animals and the frog right at the very end, but they're staying well apart to keep so apart from each other. So I know those characters. I'm happy with those. I know them, and I read those stories to Jessica and Toby. But I don't know this person. It says Charlie Cook, but I don't know what story it is. Charlie Cook has to stay in his house. He reads to the cat and he reads to his mouse. So that's really good because he's reading a story. He's still doing some of the things that we love doing at school, just reading a story, but he's reading to the animals at home. The Scarecrow's wedding can't happen just yet. When everyone's well, a new date will be set. So the animals are looking around. There's some scarecrows, and we've postponed the wedding until when everybody is able to go out again. But I don't know what this story is. Can you tell me? Here we've got Prunella and Pat are safe in their flat, being looked after by Tabby McTat. So they're staying at home, staying safe, and the cat's helping look after them. I wonder, are you helping look after people at home as well? Stay in your house, said the wise old man. We'll do your shopping. An excellent plan, said the pig. So the wise old man is staying in the house, and because he's staying in, because he's in a vulnerable group, because he's a little bit older, we've got other people who are going out to do his shopping for them. I wonder, are you doing that for anybody? Maybe you could tell me. Maybe you could tell me what this story is, because, like I said, I don't know. Look me up and down. I'm the cleanest giant in town. Now, there's a giant in the story, there's a fox in the story and a bird, but I don't know what the story is, so you'll have to tell me. Give me your soap and your loo rolls and everything else on the shelf, for I am the rat of the highway, and I'm taking them all to myself. Now that rat isn't behaving in a very nice way at all, but he's trying to take everything. He's trying to take all the loo rolls and all the soap, but we know there's plenty in the shops, and we know that we should go to the shops and only buy the things that we need. Granny and Grandpa are all on their own, but they always cheer up when the grandchildren phone. And that's really good. Whoops, gone too far. That's really good because Granny and Grandpa are talking on the phone, they're WhatsApping or they're Skyping or Zooming so they can see their grandchildren, even though they can't go round and see them. I wonder who's been talking to family members or friends using a phone or a tablet or something else. Zog and the flying doctors tell the lion with the sneeze, don't sneeze into your paw and use a paper hanky, please. So the doctors, the doctors have got the masks to keep themselves safe, and doctors are all wearing masks at the moment, and the lion knows to sneeze into a hanky, and as soon as we sneeze into a hanky we should put it in the bin so that we catch the disease and we bin it and we kill it. Stickman and Lady stay home in their tree, but they're still keeping fit with their stick children 3. Now I think the Stickman and the Stick Lady and the Stick Children are maybe doing one of the multiflex challenges. How many of you have been doing the multiflex challenges that have been on the school's Facebook page? And some of you I know have been doing the Joe Wicks PE lessons as well. So they're keeping really fit too, even though they're not going out of the house. So there we go, guys. I don't know any of these stories because my children are that bit older, like I said. So your job today is to see if you can leave me comments on this video, please. I would like you to tell me which books, which stories all of those different characters come from. See if you can recognize them all. And if you do recognize them all, if you've got those stories at home, then why don't you see if you can reread them? Now, you might want to reread them just because they're fun, and you might want to read them to yourselves, or you might want to read them to mum or dad, or just like one of the characters in the pictures, you might want to reread them to your dog or cat. Okay, there you go. That's your task to do today. So this week, it's a little bit different because we've got an assembly every day. Monday and Wednesday and Friday are all assemblies on the theme of Easter because this coming weekend is the Easter weekend. Tuesday's assembly was from the Picture News team, all about wildlife. And this is Thursday's assembly, and this one is about how we look after ourselves when we're out and about. And next week as well, there's going to be an assembly every day of the week. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow for another assembly. Bye bye.